Hi everyone, it's Antoinette from Antoinette's Kitchen, Cooking with Love. I'm here today to share a recipe with you to come into my kitchen and me to be in your kitchen. And I'm excited to say we're going to do a recipe that really is sort of everyone's favorite, steak pizzaiola with tomato sauce and potatoes. So let's get started. And as a side dish, we're going to do glazed roasted carrots. They're delicious. They make a really nice side dish. It's a nice meal. Put a salad with it, and it's a great appetizing meal for your family. Okay, so first what I want to do is I want to salt the water with some kosher salt. I'm boiling some water. I like my potatoes to be soft. Put a little bit of olive oil in the potato water, and we're going to put the potatoes inside the boiling water and let them steam as we prepare the steak pizzaiola. So I bought I love the little potatoes, the colorful ones. I have to tell you, I'm a person of presentation. I like a beautiful dish to have presentation. Colorful. I love meals to be colorful. I love them to look appetizing. Whether it's my family or my company that's coming, friends and family, it sends a message. It shows that I care and love what I'm doing, and I want to share that with you. Little tips like that, when someone leaves your house, it leaves them with a good memory. Oh my God, that was delicious. Look how pretty it looks on the table. All right, let's get started with the steak pizzaiola. I take the steak out about 15 minutes before I use it so it's nice and warm. And what I do is, let me open this up. I want to show you how thin it is. Now you can buy top round or sirloin. I like to use sirloin. It's a little bit more tender, and you can buy it very thin. And if it doesn't come thin, you can cut it, but I like it to be this thin. Pizzaiola should be able to absorb the tomato sauce smell with the fresh oregano. Oregano, as we say. My family says oregano. So let's get started with this. This is the fun part. We're going to put some olive oil in the pan. Okay. I'm going to cut up some fresh garlic. Place that right there. I'm going to cut up some fresh garlic. And my fresh garlic is, here it is. I don't mince it, I cut it up. Nice pieces. Some salt and pepper, kosher salt and pepper I'm going to put. I use about 5 or 6 cloves, depending on how big they are. You can never use enough of garlic, or too much, I should say. Garlic is the staple of Italian cooking, that's for darn sure. Okay, so I have my garlic. I'm going to just move this out of the way. And I'm going to put in some kosher salt, some pepper, I like to put extra garlic powder. I'm a garlic person. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm preparing a base for my meat to go into. So let's do that. I'm going to add some little bit of oregano, and then we're going to put fresh oregano. That goes into the sauce. Okay. It smells so good. So good. So this takes about 15 minutes to brown on both sides. I'm going to cover it, let it brown. Then we're going to add the ingredients, the tomatoes, the San Marzano plum tomatoes. We're going to add the paste, the oregano, and the rest of the seasoning. That will be done in the interim. In the meantime, we are steaming the potatoes to make sure that they get nice and soft. Okay, this is going to be cooking And like I said, as you can see, it cooks pretty fast. That's what I love about this meal. And if you have 2 fry pans going, you can do 4. This can serve 2 to 4 people, or if you have 2 fry pans, you can do 4 to 6, whatever fits your family's needs. Let this cook low and slow, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes. So we're halfway through cooking. I want to add some white onions on top. I like it to absorb the garlic flavor first. The garlic is the priority in my books. And then I add some onions. We like everything like the garlic and the onions to be just browned. We don't want them to be overly done, but yet have enough flavor. It just smells so good. I'm so proud of this dish because it's a hearty dish. It's a dish that everyone loves. It makes everyone happy at the table. You know, especially when you serve it, you can serve it with, like I said, the glazed carrots, the potatoes. You can serve it with mashed potatoes, a risotto on the side. Whatever you like to serve it with, it's possible. Rice. It's just an all-round dish that everyone loves, especially if you have meat eaters in your house. This is a great dish. And with the tomato sauce, we're going to do the plum tomatoes on it. I use these San Marzano plum tomatoes, and while we're waiting, I'm going to show you. These are San Marzanos, authentic San Marzanos, and I have this tool, and it's in my Amazon store, and I have to tell you, it's my right hand. I use it in my Sunday sauce with my tomatoes. I use it in so many different ways. It's so versatile. So we're going to smash the tomatoes, and they smash so nicely. You know, you're not squirting tomatoes all over the place, but yet you're able to smash the plum tomatoes. I want you to see. It's just so wonderful. So we're going to put this into the meat along with the paste. Such a great tool. Okay. And here we have crushed tomatoes. I mean, I know you can all relate to this. If you do crush your own tomatoes, you're putting them in a colander, you're straining them, you're using your hand to do this, what I used to do years ago, until I found one of my best friends. So I highly, highly recommend it. It's great. It's just great. I'm going to break up some fresh garlic. I don't use a scissor or I don't use a knife. I'll cut off the ends and I break up the fresh basil, as we say, basilico or basilico, depends on how you say it. We flavor it with basil. I love basil. There's a little trick with the basil. If you can't get basil year-round or oregano, fresh oregano, go to the store and buy some plastic ice cube trays. Fill it up with water, each tray, halfway, and you can put your fresh herbs into each ice cube section. So I do a tray of basil, I do a tray of oregano, whatever you like, and when you need it throughout the year, you just pop out a cube. Sometimes you always don't have basil and fresh oregano in your house, or a fresh herb. Look at this. Sizzling, bubbling, waiting for the sauce to come in. Smells so good. So now we're going to add the fresh tomatoes with the basil. Looks so good. Cook it all together. And I like it because it's a one-pot dish. Going to add the paste. Stir it. Looks delicious, doesn't it? And it is. It smells so good. And the key ingredient to this is the fresh oregano. And you know me, if you've been watching any of my cooking segments, my other best friend is the scissor. I cut in the oregano. You know, everyone thinks cooking is so difficult and kind of fearful of it. When you cook with me, it's not. Like I said, and everyone knows this, I've been cooking since I'm 10 years old. My mother would come home from work or shopping or whatever, and there it was. Dinner was on the table. Okay. So we have our garlic, our onion. I like to add a little bit of extra garlic powder, such a staple. A little bit of extra onion powder. And believe it or not, some dried oregano. Even though we have fresh, you can never put too much herbs. So delicious. And it's almost done. What we're going to do is then place all of this over our potatoes that are boiling so nice and soft. I'm going to cover this. Let me check our potatoes, see how they're doing. How you doing, guys? Good, they're boiling up so nice. There's a little olive oil in here and some salted water. And what I like to do with all the sauces I make, I like to just taste it. Just taste it to make sure that it has enough spice in it, enough herbs, and it's where it should be. I'm very, very fussy about that. It's very, very good. Excellent. So what's going to happen is this is going to cook. Potatoes are going to be done in about 10 minutes, and I'll see you then. And you can see how we put it together and make a delicious meal. As it's cooking, it's partially done. I like to add some fresh parsley. This is always like the grand finale, my father used to call it. I did a lot of cooking with my father, and he had a name for everything. He would be like, this is it. This is the grand finale. I can remember him saying that. You know, he likes to always garnish with parsley, cook with parsley. I want to add some capers. Okay. And the best part is the white wine. And I've been cooking so long, I measure with my eye. Add some white wine. And I always make sure that I do things in stages. I like the tomatoes to absorb into the meat. Then I like to add a little bit of capers, the salt and the wine towards the end. Let it reduce. I feel that Italian cooking should be low and slow. It should be meaningful. It should have so much, I guess when you cook with love, you kind of know what you're doing. The feeling. I do a lot with my hands. The hands are close to my heart. And the hands mean so much to me when you feel and touch the cooking. Cooking is not a hard task. It's easy if you think about it easy, if you think about it in steps, and I'm here to cook with you. I want you to be able to come into my kitchen and me to come into your kitchen and us to cook together as best friends and become a family. Tradition is very important with cooking. Food is not just about taste good, but food feels good. It feels good in your stomach, but it feels good to embrace your family and friends around the table, to get that feeling of deliciousness with everyone that comes into your door and into your home, when they leave with a good feeling, and especially your family, carrying on traditions with your grandchildren, your children, your grandchildren, on and on and on. And I know a lot of you can relate to that. And that's probably a big purpose of what I do, sharing these recipes. Because I'm not just sharing recipes and good, tasteful ones, but I'm sharing love. I'm sharing meaning. So let's see how our potatoes are doing. Enough of the chit chat. They're almost done. And the meat should almost be done cooking with the wine and reducing. I lower it now, like I said, low and slow. And I'll see you in about 5 minutes. Hi, I'm back. Potatoes are done. The meat has sauteed and it's just about done. Very nicely, it smells so good. I'm going to drain and strain my potatoes. Place them in the dish on the bottom. This is the fun part. I love putting recipes together. To me, this is the fun part when everything joins. As a family, I treat my food with so much love. This is the great part. Look how delicious that looks. And it tastes so good. The sauce is so good. It's full of herbs. The oregano, you can smell it. The wine has reduced. I'm going to pour it over the potatoes. I'm so happy to present to you my steak pizzaiola with potatoes. From my heart to your plate, and may your family enjoy this hearty recipe with lots of love. Bon appetit.